JP. I'm back down in the basement. The owner found another couple boxes of comics. I'm gonna go through them and see what we find. Check it out. Okay, so we're back in the nerd cave. Quick backstory. I stopped by this antique store pretty often now because it's really close to where I work at. So I stopped by, and he had said to me that he wants to try to organize some of these comics, and he was looking for long boxes because most of the comics you'll see, or from the video you can see, they're in totes, odd, odd shaped boxes, whatever they may be. They're not really meant for comics. They're just thrown in there for storage. So he wanted to find a bunch of long boxes, and I mentioned about checking eBay, which he did, and he had recently said that, eBay's just probably too much, or Amazon's too much to buy all the as money as he needs. And I know of an LCS, a couple hours south. When I travel for work, I'll see if I can pick up a couple for you. So I was just traveling for work. I stopped at an LCS outside of Pittsburgh, and they had just, I asked if they had long boxes. They were $1 a piece, but there was only 7 or 8 of them there. So I bought them all, and on my travels back, before I got home, I stopped at the antique store and dropped them off, almost all. I think I kept one for myself, but I dropped off all the long boxes for him. And he had said that we found some more comics in the basement if you want to stop by and go through them. So excitement had me, and I stopped by the next day and, went through what was more in the basement. Essentially, it was, I don't know where he found the box at, but there was at least 3 or 4 boxes full of comics that we went through, and a lot of good keys that were in there. You saw, there was the Batman Adventures 12, which was the Spanish version. It was already in a case of the previous owner. I think he has 3 copies of that same Spanish version, but this one either was found in the basement, or when he was cleaning up upstairs, brought him down to the basement as a new find. I'm not sure what the Spanish version goes for, the foreign versions of that particular book. I think there is one graded. The one that you saw in the video was raw. So you see that one. There was Daredevil, I think 158, which is the first Frank Miller in Daredevil. Kind of beat up, but again, good reader copy there. There was also ASM 265, which was first Silver Sable. That was in decent shape. You had a Silver Age Daredevil there. Some He-Man, Masters of the Universe. There was also, you saw the Johnny Quest book that was graded. It was Signature Series. It was not signed by Dave Stevens, or I had to grab that in a second. There also was the Static book, Milestone, plenty of keys, and a lot of the indie books, as you may see, when I was sorting the pile, I put them in one particular tote that I take up to a room that's up on the 2nd floor that we have all the comics in there ready to sort, which I deemed them the better comics that are up in that room. So I was basically sorting the ones in the basement into a tote, and the ones I didn't think were worth much, I put off to the side. Now, what I'm curious from you guys watching the video, if you see of any comics I missed. Sometimes they look familiar to me, and I'll put them off to the side because I think there's some value there, because they're either a rare indie book, which turned out they may not be, and so they go down to the dollar bin, or I saw a couple of the ASM Carnage runs from the 90s, and I know there's a few that have some value, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so I put them to the side too. So we'll be going back through these again once it's time to price everything out. But, essentially I'm just sorting them right now, putting them all up in a room, and then we're going to take the long boxes and we're going to fill them all up there to make it very organized. And there are some display cases that we'll put the better books in the display cases, and sort of, the $25, $50 books in the display case, and then set up long boxes of $5 books, dollar books, things like that. That's coming here in the next, I don't know, probably month or so. But I've had a lot of fun going through it, and I appreciate that he lets me do this, and he gives me a nice discount on the books that I do buy. And there's a lot there today I probably would have bought, but I can't buy them all for reasons of space, and just, some things don't interest me as much as at that time of my collecting. There might have been some books in there that I might have grabbed a year ago, and now I just, having Blade 1 and Toxic Avenger 1, or some Transformer books from the 80s, cool to have, but they really just take up space, and eventually you're gonna get rid of them anyway. So I grabbed the ones that are more nostalgic to me, but there are plenty there I could have grabbed, so as you can see in the video. So I only did grab one book, and he gave me a screaming deal on this book, but it is the ASM 300. That's why it made the little cheering sound when it came up. I do have this book in a graded version, a 9.4 that I bought from Manu a couple months ago, but I always, go by the saying from West Coast Avengers, see Todd, buy Todd. And I saw Todd, and I bought Todd. And this is a beat-up reader copy of it. It happens to be newsstand. I was kind of hoping it might be a Mark Jewelers. It was not. It's not a double cover. Out of all those books I looked through, I have yet to find a newsstand or excuse me, a Mark Jewelers or a double cover. So again, there might be a specific count to the Mark Jewelers, but they're hard to find. I went through, I don't know, 25, 30 long boxes and totes of books, and I didn't find any Mark Jewelers yet. So, but anyway, so I got this book, one of my favorite reads as a kid. Haven't read it in a long time, and I wanted a reader copy just to have. It's beat up pretty good. You can see the spine ticks on the back on it. It's got a rip on the cover here. It is probably a 3.5 grade if tops. There's a lot of marks up here on the top corner here. I don't know if they're rips or not, but I don't really care. I'm going to read it. I mean, I love Todd's artwork on the inside here. He had great covers, but some of these were some memorable shots in here. Like the swinging Spider-Man here, which I think is a great shot. I probably drew this thousands of times as a kid. Some nice shots of Mary Jane. Nice fight scenes with him and Venom in here. 2 black suits going at it. I thought was pretty cool. So for me, it was a nice deal to buy it. Also, wait, real quick, got the Thing in there. Since the Fantastic Four movie got announced, there's Todd's version of the Thing. I always like to see how he drew certain characters. But anyway, so, it gave me a great deal on it. It's just for the fact that I'm helping him out. He's a super nice guy. And, I don't know what this one's really worth. I don't know if it's a $100 book. It's pretty beat up. It's just really, to me, it's just more of a reader copy. So it's probably not worth a ton, but to me, it's just something cool to have to grab and read through and actually physically touch that version of it as opposed to the graded version. There are some people that like graded books and some that like raw, and I'm kind of in between. It's nice to kind of pick them up and read them, but it's also nice to display them. So tell me what you think of that. Tell me what you think about the books I found in the video. Was there anything I missed? Any ones that should have gone in the pile of good stuff that I may have missed? Again, some of it came down to grade. I know, if a book is just mangled, do you keep it? Even if it's, some, let's say, third appearance or third Clayface in Batman. Do you keep that if it's beat to heck and has water damage, or do you throw it out? I don't know. To me, I put them to the side, but I don't know what you charge for them. $1. I mean, you can get coverless copies of some books for $10 from the Silver Age that are huge keys, and that's $10 for a coverless, let alone a water damaged, beat up book that has, mold on it. So probably throw those away, but that may be some why they went in the pile. But let me know your thoughts on what I found and what I should have put in the good pile, and appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And in the next video, we'll be going over all the better books I found in that collection, showing those keys there. And we'll soon be, well, not me, it's not my store, but he's soon going to be open for business and showing off the books. So we'll go from there. So appreciate you watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.